Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Between Monsters and Men. Tonight we will be talking about the very dangerous Lilith. Discretion is advised. This topic is a little touchy for those who are strict in their religious beliefs. It may also mention sexual conduct. Note that this is just research and for educational purposes only. Next to the devil, no name is heard more when speaking of demons than the name Lilith. She reaches our ears through imaginings within books, poems, art, and now even through media. And though she has grown from multiple religions, little does one know that she's wandered this earth for 4,000 years. Let us follow her first tracks back to 4000 BC in Mesopotamia. Within the lore of this ancient land, Lilith derives from the demons known as Lilith, whom haunt the open country land and are very dangerous to pregnant women and young children. These Lilith demons are said to be called storm demons, at which they bring disease, illness, and death. The famous Epic of Gilgamesh is where she first appears in history. Her darkest origins are within the Babylonian demonology, where it is first mentioned of amulets and incantations were used to counter against this winged spirit, who also in this mythology preyed upon pregnant women and infants. It is within the Babylonian Talmudic that Lilith becomes more than just a spirit of darkness, but also a figure of uncontrolled sexuality. She is seen more as a succubus than a storm demon, and would fertilize herself with male sperm to give birth to other demons, at which she is known as the mother of hundreds of demons. In 3000 BCE, she appears in the Sumerian myth of the descent of Inanna. Here she is believed to be the servant of the goddess of fertility Inanna. After this, her name migrates, changing form in the world of ancient Hittites, Egyptians, Israelites, and Greeks, expanding thousands of years. In the Middle Ages, she takes on her most iconic form that stems strongly from the Jewish mythology. It is within the Jewish folklore that she is seen as Adam's first wife, who was created from the same dirt as he, instead of like Eve, who was created from Adam's rib. Immediately they fought, and Adam says to her, "I will not lie beneath you, but only on top. For you are fit only to be in the bottom position, while I am to be the superior one." She responded with, "We are equal to each other in as much as we are both created from the earth." She left him, and Adam prayed to his creator, and at once the Holy One sent 3 angels to bring her back. They found her amidst the sea, at which the Egyptians were destined to drown. They told of her God's word, but she refused to return. So the angels said, "We shall drown you in the sea." However, this did not happen. They ended up with an arrangement instead. She told them that she would have dominion over infants, but whenever she'd see the names or the forms of the angels on an amulet, she'd have no power over that infant. She also agreed to have 100 of her children die every day. Due to this, every day 100 demons perish. It is around this time that the story can get a little fuzzy. One story says that after she left the Garden of Eden, she coupled with Archangel Samuel, marrying him. This didn't last. God castrated Samuel and cooled Lilith, making her infertile. After this, Lilith left Samuel and would couple with men at night. It is also within the Jewish belief that Lilith was the first woman, who also tried tempting Eve in the form of a snake and causing the fall of men. During the Middle Ages, Lilith was mentioned in more than just the Jewish religion. In folk tradition in the early Middle Ages, Lilith was a dominant female demon who was married to Asmodeus, king of demons. Asmodeus was known from the legends about him within the Talmud. Asmodeus and Lilith were believed to procreate demonic offspring constantly, and together they caused chaos. Many disasters were blamed on them, such as turning wine to vinegar, both men and women to be infertile, and it was Lilith again who was blamed for the loss of infant life. These stories were very real for people at that time, much like witches and werewolves. Her stories continued even into the 18th century, where superstition took a hold in another way, as a magic circle that would be drawn around the bedroom when a mother gave birth, and again would be given amulets to protect them. There are plenty more other stories of her, spread throughout the world in religions all over. She makes a solitary appearance in the Bible as a wilderness demon shunned by the prophet Isaiah, and she's also mentioned in the Dead Sea Scrolls of Songs of a Sage. She's quite literally in every media known today. Books, songs, movies, and television series. Her name and story has changed from the iconic demon to a woman of suffrage who fights back, but more on that soon. In the Renaissance period, Michelangelo portrayed Lilith as half woman, half serpent, at which she coiled around the tree of knowledge much like her single mentioning in the Bible. In the Romantic period, German writer Goethe had Lilith in his play called Faust. Within the play, she was a sorceress who suffocates men by winding her long hair tightly around men. In the Victorian period, poet Robert Browning took a different approach and emphasized her that Lilith was an attachment to Adam, crawling like a snake to him and promising to be his slave. Her name is the title of a Jewish woman's magazine and a national literacy program. An annual music festival donates its profits to battered women's shelters and breast cancer research institutes that are called the Lilith Fair. From a woman to a demon, to a beautiful winged creature, Lilith has taken on many forms, and for thousands of years she was feared. Storm demon, succubus, and even a wilderness demon. She is mostly seen as a monster that harms infants and their mothers. She's an emotional, spiritual being of the aspects of darkness, terror, sensuality, and unbridled freedom. Once a source of devastating fear, she is now, in this day and age, mostly seen as an appearance of freedom. Many argue this belief still, those who still consider her a demon much like her myths, but maybe she deserves to be seen in a brighter light. If we were to look at her first mention of being Adam's wife and ignore her demonic nature when she was known as Lilith, we see that she was created from the same dirt as Adam and wanted to be equal to him. She didn't want to be subservient. She was the same creation, same hierarchy. Through her eyes, she didn't see herself as a sex submissive but equal to her male counterpart. It was after she left and refused to come back that she was seen in the dark light, as a demon, as a creature who was then turned to evil. She took control of her destiny and pulled out of repression. Let me read one of my favorite quotes that can explain why she turned from repression into that of something dark and evil. Thomas More wrote in his book, Utopia, "For if you suffer your people to be ill-educated and their manners to be corrupted from infancy, and then punish them for those crimes to which their first education disposed them, what else is to be concluded from this, that you first make thieves and then punish them?" She was created, and on the first day of creation she opposed Adam for what she first saw them was being equal. And then she left, trying to find her destiny, at which 3 angels pursued her and claimed she must return, be subservient, or die. Her first set of the world was full of darkness. All that she was in her heart became darkness, and she knew to be was darkness. Modern feminists celebrate her bold struggle from the independence from Adam, not seeing her as a demon in their eyes, but a woman who fought for her own sex. Today, Lilith is loved and feared. Orthodox Jews still make talismans against her to protect their children. She's in several movies, songs, and television today, and probably will never be forgotten. But how do you see her? As an evil demon corrupted to steal babies and to be feared? Or a woman who fought for her independence and simply lost her way? Due to YouTube demonetizing videos like mine, feel free to check out my Patreon page. There you can become part of the Patreon family. I create videos on abductions, serious killers, monsters, and much more. If not, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It warms my heart knowing my passion is being enjoyed. I'd like to thank my supporting Patreon this far, and also thank the subscriber who requested this video. I'm very sorry this video came up late. I lost track of time around the holidays and had so much planned for this channel during this time. My greatest apologies. I hope you all had a great New Year's.